Guys, I messed up a little bit, just a little bit. Let's talk curriculum fails and pivots. And yes, we are just getting into this homeschool year and we already have some big ones. First of all, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Kaela, a second generation homeschool mom of 4 girls. The 2025-2026 homeschool year will be our 8th year of homeschooling. I have a 6th grader, a 3rd grader, a preschooler, 3-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old. I am going to have to tread very lightly with this video because I don't like to bash curricula, especially when these resources are coming from small family-owned businesses, homeschool parents who have put their heart and so much time into writing and creating curricula for homeschoolers to use with their families. I have never created or written my own curriculum, but I know how much time and effort I put into my personal homeschool with my family, with my children, and I can imagine that heart and that effort being put into something at a much larger scale when you're writing and creating something that you're hoping other families will benefit from and will find joy in. So I have a lot of respect and appreciation for curriculum writers, curriculum publishers, especially when they are from the mom and pop shops. I love to support small businesses. I love to support homeschool family businesses. All that being said, I also feel that it is extremely important for me to be fully transparent with this very small platform that I have. It's important for me to keep my integrity and to share with you guys my honest opinions of resources and curricula. And my opinion is just that. It's an opinion. It is not fact, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. I do have my own biases and opinions about certain homeschool resources, about certain companies or writers or publishers who are creating curricula for homeschoolers. In a lot of cases, I keep those opinions to myself. I did spend my own money on this and I promoted it to an extent, shared it with you guys, shared my excitement to use it in our homeschool with my kids. And sadly, I was very disappointed with the content and the quality of this curriculum. And it would be unfair for me to not share that very transparently and very honestly with y'all. So I am going to try to balance being transparent and being honest with also being respectful of the people that put a lot of work into this. I'm sure, I have no doubt they put a lot of time and work into this. And it's not my cup of tea. That doesn't mean it's a horrible resource that no one should buy. It doesn't mean that it may not work for you or someone you know. It just isn't going to work for us. So friends, what I'm talking about is Geography Junior from Guest Hollow. And I have shared about this on my channel. I did a little flip through, a little overview with you guys. I was very excited to use this curriculum with my homeschoolers. So let's do a little recap. Guest Hollow, small business, mom and pop homeschool family business. They have written and created curricula resources, little mini unit studies, lots of different things for different subject areas. They have things for history. They have things for science. They have their geography studies, which obviously this is one. The one I'm talking about today is Geography Junior, which is meant for like elementary through middle school. They also have an upper level geography that is aimed more towards high schoolers. I cannot speak to that program. I have not looked at it. I have not used it. In fact, I've only used 2 resources from Guest Hollow. The first one is their grammar curriculum, Beowulf's Grammar. I love Beowulf's Grammar. My kids love Beowulf's grammar. It is unique, it is engaging, it is highly original content that you don't see anywhere else. And that's important. That's going to come up again later on. My children have been using Beowulf's grammar for the last couple of years. We have not used it the way it was written because it is designed for you to complete the entire curriculum in one school year. I have stretched it out over several years. Anyways, Beowulf's grammar, is it the end all be all of grammar? No. There are plenty of other options, possibly even better options. But we really like Beowulf's grammar. We're using it again this year. And using Beowulf's grammar was really the impetus for me to go back to Guest Hollow and look and see what else they had, because we had loved their grammar program so much. I was thinking, I bet there's a lot of other stuff that they have that we would really enjoy. Geography, it looked pretty good. I'm not going to cover all the details of Geography Junior in this video because I already have a video where I showed you guys a breakdown of how the program looks, like how it's advertised, and also a little flip through of what I printed once I purchased that curriculum. I also included in that video a flip through of some of the main spine books for that curriculum. Guys, I messed up a little bit, just a little bit on that. So I need to correct. I shared a flip through of this book right here in my initial overview flip through first impressions video. This is DK Where on Earth Geography as You've Never Seen It Before. I thought, y'all, that this was the main spine for Geography Junior. I purchased it thinking I was getting a newly updated, revised, prettier, more modern version of the actual spine that is in the curriculum. And I will pop up an image right here of the actual spine of this curriculum, which I don't have. I did not buy the right book, y'all. I did a whole flip through of this book thinking this was the correct spine, that it was just an updated version. And then I sat down and actually started really looking at this curriculum, planning out our lessons, and I realized I had the wrong book. Like, they're not even similar. This is not a revised version of that book. They are just completely different books, y'all. In fact, in the back of this book, it has the right book right here. And as you can see, it clearly differentiates them within this collection. This is the one I should have bought. This is the one I have. They are not the same book. So I apologize. That was my mistake. I shared the wrong book with y'all in that video. I bought the wrong book, like big whoopsie moment on my part, and I apologize for that mistake in that video. I will have the video linked down below in case you missed it, because it does still show a good overview of this curriculum and the actual pages from the curriculum, what the lessons look like, what the schedule looks like, what the book list looks like. So if you are interested in that, if you missed that, that video will be down below. Just ignore the part with this book, and everything else in there is solid and accurate. I actually purchased Geography Junior from Guest Hollow for the last homeschool year because it was my initial plan to do that World Geography year for the 2024-2025 school year. We had to pivot. We got some opportunities to use different things. I've already shared all that, so I won't bore you with the details, but it got pushed, basically. Our geography year got pushed to this school year, 2025-2026. By the time that year had passed, I had also been intrigued by another curriculum, which is Layers of Learning. And I do have a video where I'm sharing Layers of Learning, their geography as well. Basically, I got FOMO. I really wanted to use Layers of Learning geography, but I had already purchased and invested in Geography Junior from Guest Hollow. So I thought, why not merge and blend and use both? Because I already have Geography Junior. I really want to buy Layers of Learning. I can make this work. Guest Hollow has given a very dense and full 5-day week schedule for this curriculum. Layers of Learning has no schedule, no lesson plan, okay? It's a very different curriculum. It is meant to be a menu, and you pick and choose and pull what you would like from their offerings of activities and book suggestions and et cetera, et cetera. You are supposed to schedule it and implement it how you see fit. So I have one curriculum with no lesson plan for world geography. I have another curriculum with a very overwhelming and like we're never going to get to it 5-day a week schedule, okay? So my plan was we can do world geography 3 days a week, okay? Not 5, but 3. That's the goal. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to pull things I want from this. I'm going to pull things I want from Layers of Learning. I'm going to create my own schedule. It's been a ton of work. I've been working round the clock for weeks, literally burning the candle at both ends, working when my kids are asleep to try to get this lesson plan to come together before our official start date for our new homeschool year. Do not recommend, 0 stars. Just don't do it. Even if you're going to use Geography Junior, even after what I'm going to share with you in this video, you don't need to try to blend it with something else. You don't need to try to make your own lesson plan. Like, it's so much work, y'all. So let me start with the positive. The positive is that Geography Junior has a sequence that I do like, and I actually replicated that entire sequence. So they start with an overview of geography, right? So you have a couple weeks where you're learning about just the earth. You're learning about seasons and climate. You're learning about the oceans and the continents and landforms. So really like the more science aspects of geography. That's what they start with. Then they proceed to go through every continent. They start with Antarctica and the Arctic Circle. Then they do North America. Then they do Central America, South America, then Europe, then Asia, Africa, and then you finish your year with Oceania, Australia, and the islands around it. That part I really liked. I really liked the way that they structured out the year. And I pulled that completely for our lesson plans. We will follow that exact scope and sequence for our world geography this year. We're going to start with a big picture overview. We're going to do the landforms and the oceans and the continents and all of that. And then my plan is to go through continent by continent. And as we're going through each continent, we're going to spend a couple weeks and we're going to look at individual countries in each continent. So that's the plan. And that is the one thing that I really liked from Geography Junior. Geography Junior is literature based. It's very book heavy. And I already knew that there was stuff we were not going to use from this program. For example, a key spine of the curriculum is a global cookbook. So they have pages of this cookbook assigned for pretty much every week. Depending on where you are in the world, you're learning about the food and cuisine of that region or of that country, and you are making recipes with your kids, right? That sounds delightful. You're getting to experience the cuisine and you're getting to cook with your kids, right? So there's lots of different types of learning that are happening when you do something like that. I appreciate it. I understand the appeal of it. I also know for our family, we weren't going to do it. Number one, I don't enjoy cooking. I cook because it is necessary. I cook because I need to feed myself and my family. I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can. And thankfully, I married a man who loves to cook, and he is a far more skilled and better cook than I ever will be. So that worked out really well. Also, as a family, we already enjoy multicultural cuisine in our home. So I just knew that we didn't need something else. Like we didn't need another box to check an additional cookbook, an additional required recipe for the week. It just wasn't going to happen. So that's one spine that's already out. There were a couple of books on the book list that really did appeal to me, so I purchased those, and I was just thinking, okay, I'll use what I want from this curriculum, and I'm okay skipping over anything that isn't applicable for us. So as I'm going through making this lesson plan, and I already know I'm not going to use everything that's in this, but I'm going to pull what is good, right? There's books that I know I like, at least a handful of books, and the schedule is chock full of links, okay? The hands-on activities, you're getting them from a link to another part of the internet that doesn't belong to Guest Hollow. The printables, you're getting them from another website that they have linked for you. In some cases, it's a website that requires you to pay a subscription. I'm pretty sure the main website that they use is Scholastic Teachables or something like that. So you have access to all of these printables and worksheets. There's a free trial period that you can use. And I guess theoretically, you could go through and print all the things for your whole year of geography during that free trial. But again, this is not original content that was created by Guest Hollow for their curriculum. This is a link to an external source. The other main source of worksheets that they have is this book right here, which is a workbook that they suggest purchasing off of Amazon. It is affordable and it's decent quality. Like, I have no qualms with this workbook whatsoever. I did purchase it for us. I do plan on using it with my girls. But again, it's not original content from Guest Hollow. It is an additional purchase that you have to make from an external source. As you're going through the schedule, you will see lots and lots and lots of links. It is link after link after link. That's really the meat of this program. It is a schedule, it is a book list, and it is links, 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 links. So there are links to online games, which are free. They're from a website called Cetera. I have seen Cetera games be recommended in several different curricula for geography studies. So again, that is not content that is unique or original to Guest Hollow Geography Junior. In fact, Layers of Learning Geography also recommends and suggests that you use Cetera online games to help your children memorize continents, memorize flags, memorize countries in particular regions. They have games for all of that on Cetera, and it's free, so it's a great resource. Hands-on activities. These are also links to external sources. So they have links to homeschool blogs, they have links to educational websites. So you have to go through those links, decide which, if any, hands-on activities look like something that would be appealing for your learners and your family. And then you would access the tutorial or the directions for that activity in that website. Again, external source from the curriculum itself. And the last main part of this curriculum are videos. This is pretty standard across just about every curriculum that I have used that includes videos. They're going to link those videos, and most of them are on YouTube. And that's totally fine. YouTube is a wonderful resource. If you're not already using it in your homeschool, I don't know why. They have videos linked for every single day of the schedule. They clearly spent a lot of time curating these video links. So the first few days that I am writing my own lesson plan, I am really just copying and pasting from the digital Guest Hollow Geography Junior schedule. Mostly the assigned pages from books that I knew we were going to use and the video links. Those I'm just like dropping into my lesson plan without even really checking them, because I trusted that they had already put the work into this, right? I got probably 4 to 6 weeks into my lesson plan before I started to actually open the links and actually see what is being linked in Geography Junior. And that is when the real surprise and disappointment started to set in. I know YouTube. I use YouTube all the time in our homeschool. We have used it for pretty much every subject area across all the grade levels that I have taught so far. And in those years, I've already come across videos for geography specifically. And the videos that were linked in this schedule, I just know from experience, these were not the high caliber, the high quality that I would have used for our geography lessons. And actually, after watching the first couple videos, I thought, this must be a fluke. Like, okay, maybe there's not that many great videos for Antarctica, but I'm sure that the videos for North America are going to be better. Or I'm sure the videos for like Canada specifically, or Mexico specifically, or, you know, the UK, Brazil, they're going to be better because there's got to be tons of videos on those places, on the wildlife, the habitats, the biomes of those places, on the people, the culture, the history of those places. I know that there are amazing videos on YouTube for any of these places. But as I continued to click link after link after link in this schedule, the disappointment just kept coming. So the videos that they have sourced, and I did go through more than half of this entire curriculum. So 18 to 20 weeks is when I pretty much gave up. The videos that they have included are just not great. They're really, really not great. They have a couple good ones sprinkled in. You know, they would include stuff from channels that I have used in the past and that I really appreciate, like SciShow Kids or Nat Geo Kids, right? Like, these are names that are trusted and their production quality is great. But for every video link that was worth using and high quality, there were like 3 to 5 that were just not worth using, that I immediately wanted to find a replacement for. And I did find a replacement for all of them. I was easily able to find a better quality video that addressed or discussed the same topic or information that their linked video was trying to address or discuss. So my specific example is when you're studying Mexico in this, they have some music video links. So they have videos that are like about Mexico. In addition to your educational videos, you have music video links. And some of them are just like a still image with a playlist that's playing music. So you don't really need to watch it as much as just listen to it. Some of the videos are videos of people actually playing live music or even dancing in the street in public areas where live music is being played. And y'all, I mean, La Cucaracha for Mexico? Like, really? Is that the best we can do for Mexico? If you know, you know. Like, it's just one of those things where there's so much beautiful music from this country, from this region, from the different cultures that live there. And they chose La Cucaracha. I have nothing against the song. I mean, it's for kids. It's a silly song. And it is Mexican. I just feel like there was more that could have been included. It was a missed opportunity. So I found myself going into YouTube and like, let's find better options. Let's find more Mexican music. I can't recall if it was for Mexico or if it was for another country, but I vividly remember one of the videos that they have linked, which is people performing and dancing in the street. It's an older video. Someone's filming it on their cell phone, and the video quality stinks. It's shaky. It's cloudy footage. The sound quality is terrible. And I just found myself thinking, like, why this one? Why did they link this one when there's so many better ones on YouTube? So if you're keeping score, now we have a situation where I'm only using some of the main spines in this curriculum. I'm having to replace almost every video link in this curriculum. I'm already skipping a lot of the hands-on activities and printables from this curriculum because, again, I'm just finding better options. And what they have in the schedule is already from external sources. It's already not created by Guest Hollow. It is time consuming to make a lesson plan. Yes. It is time consuming to create a unit study or a scope and sequence for a subject area of study. Yes. But the way that they have done it in Geography Junior, where they have just pulled from the internet, from blogs, from Pinterest, from YouTube, from all of these external websites and places, I think that's pretty much the way that literally any parent would go about creating a unit study or creating their own lesson plans. In fact, there are a lot of homeschool families who strictly do that. They don't use curriculum that's written and designed by other people. They don't pay for curriculum. They just create their own units, their own lesson plans, and this is what they do. They pull from the internet, they research, they get a book list together, they accumulate video links and make playlists. They might add in some board games or some flashcards or some online gaming. Like, this is what you do to create a DIY lesson plan. And that's great. That's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. There's just one problem, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, take it for what it's worth. $37 to purchase the curriculum. And remember, the curriculum is a book list and a schedule with lots of links. The pages have very minimal color and they have no illustrations. I mean, this really is like an Excel spreadsheet. It's just a table schedule. It's very simple. After looking very closely at what you're getting, at what the curriculum itself actually contains, I feel that it's overpriced. And it hurts me to say that because, again, I don't want to hurt a small business. But I also have to balance that with being fully transparent. And in my opinion, this curriculum is overpriced for what you get. You're not getting any original content in this curriculum. You're not getting any original worksheets or printables. You're not getting original art or photos or illustrations. I think it would be amazing if they included a photo showing what some of the hands-on activities would look like, what the expectation is when this is completed. It would be extremely helpful for us as parents when we're setting expectations, but also when we're selecting and deciding which hands-on activity to do with our kids. And then the books, of course. So this is a literature-based program. You're having to potentially purchase books, possibly quite a few books, depending on your access to a library, depending on what your library has. The book selection is a mix. There are definitely some titles in there that I wouldn't have chosen. I think they're a little bit dated, or I just think that there's a better option for that particular subject and topic. But a lot of the books that they have selected are really nice, high quality books. The links that are included in this curriculum, again, my opinion, they're subpar. There are better options. So now you have all of that cost plus the cost of your time, potentially, if you're going through and finding replacements or better options for videos, for hands-on activities, for printables. It all is adding up very, very quickly. There's no complete table of contents. There's no complete scope and sequence. There's no tests or reviews or rubrics. And I'm not saying that any of that is necessary to a curriculum. I'm just bringing out again what some curricula have and what this one doesn't have. And in all fairness, Guest Hollow is open and transparent about what they are selling you. They have it right there on the website. They explicitly say, we are not including books. We are not including workbooks. We are not including a teacher's guide. They are not misleading anyone. They are very openly saying, this is a schedule. This is a book list. They have a sample that you can download for free. Like, they really have done their due diligence in showing you exactly what you are getting for your money. So I cannot fault them there at all. When I purchased this, I knew I was getting a schedule. I knew I was getting a book list. I knew that that was the meat and potatoes of this purchase. That was what I was paying for. I also knew I was going to get lots of links to hands-on activities and to videos. What I did not expect is that the video links were going to be disappointing and I wasn't going to use any of their suggested videos. What I did not expect was that a lot of the book selections were not going to be great fits for me. So it reached a point where I was asking myself, what did I actually pay for? What did I gain from this purchase? The book list is great. Is it worth $37? I don't think I would pay $37 for any book list, but I'm not getting original content. I'm not getting aesthetics. I'm not getting the user-friendly aspect because this schedule is densely packed with information. It isn't the easiest to read and parse through all of those links. So it's not really designed and laid out in a way that I would prefer or that is very user-friendly in my opinion. The bottom line is I was really let down and disappointed by this curriculum. And that's a big bummer. Like, I'm really sad about it. I'm really sad because I was so excited to use it. I'm sad because I'm sure that some of you purchased it solely because I shared it. And that's a big bummer. I try to be very clear when I am sharing a curriculum or a resource and differentiate, like, this video is a first impressions or a flip through. This is not something I've actually sat with and used. I'm looking at it for the first time along with y'all, as opposed to a video where I've used this, I know the ins and outs of it, and I feel like I can give you a thorough, in-depth review of what this curriculum is like and share my opinions and my thoughts and how we've implemented it. So I hope that that's helpful, that differentiation. Even with that though, it's hard to have that weight of responsibility knowing that people may have wasted their money because of something I shared and something I said. It's a major bummer. I'm also bummed about the personal investment that I put into this. I did purchase this program with my own money. I purchased books for this program with my own money, and I spent hours and hours making lesson plans to try and salvage this and tweak it and make it work for us. And what ended up happening is I've used almost none of it. We will forge ahead. I'm still planning on having a fantastic year with world geography with my kiddos. I am loving layers of learning. I'm really having fun and enjoying that curriculum. And I'm also having fun creating these lesson plans and finding the videos that I want to use and finding the books that I want to use. Yes, it's a ton of work and a ton of time, and I probably would not do it again, but it's still fun. I'm going to share with you guys a quick glimpse of these lesson plans that I have been creating. They are very customized and personalized for my family, and I did not design them to be widely distributed or used by other families, but I've already had a couple of people message me and say that they're still interested in it. So if you are also interested, DM me on Instagram. We can chat and maybe make arrangements for me to get that to you. All right, that's all. I have talked long enough. I really hope that this video was helpful and informative. Please feel free if you have any questions at all. Again, I'm an open book, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Happy homeschooling.